The next morning. Fortunately, the many years I spent sleeping in cars for a handful of hours this time proves my internal clock remains on point. I'm able to crawl out of bed in a relatively fully awakened state. Deciding to skip any breakfast of sorts, I dress and head out at doors quietly as I can. It's not only dark outside, but choked with fog. If I hadn't walked to St. Sadler so often by this point, I may have genuinely gotten lost. Dawn does break somewhere beyond the morning mist, though, so by the time I arrive at the church, it's not in total darkness. As I approach the church parking lot, I'm surprised to see Father Xander waiting for me next to the van.
Oh, and there you are.
Yeah, I am. Surprised to see you up this early.
Oh, there's no helping that. I'm still living on army time. Worry not, I make up for it with a healthy dose of afternoon naps.
As I've noticed. What are you doing anyway?
I'm doing some final touch-ups in the line of scripture I painted onto the side of the van.
You painted it in the dark?
Oh, I've been thinking of this for a bit, so I ordered a stencil of what I wanted and ordered a couple of weeks ago. I actually did most of the work after you got back from the fair yesterday. Just grabbed a flashlight and some spray paint and voila. Also, don't let this go to your head, but you were actually a bit of an inspiration for my choice in scripture.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yeah, come take a look.
If you have. Okay, oh, this is the point total. This is the how much are you fucking shit up? Yeah, we got the I like this. It's I mean, listen, the tarot card is what everyone likes, but I don't know, I think a little Bible scripture can go a long way considering the relevance of the plot. Actually, is it that relevant? Like, the religiousness isn't that relevant. I guess Father Xander is a priest, and Minnie is religious, but, like, it's not something that moves the story. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John, whatever.
I'm quite pleased with it.
You say I inspired this?
Oh, yes. You really impressed me these past few months. You've been a real help to those around you. Been forthright and honest in just about everything you've done. Even taking responsibility for your past mistakes. You've really done much more than I could have expected in regards to helping Claudia. If you keep this up, you may have a long and happy life ahead of you. And if what Minnie gossips to me about, it won't be spent alone either.
She's interested in me?
I'm talking about Claudia. God damn it! Get out of here! Sapphire, you have nothing to do with any of this.
Hmm. I'm the Alpha and I'm the Omega, Virgil. For the funny launcher. I wouldn't mind not being alone.
It's certainly a preferable option. Now, you've got a meeting to get to, so get to it. Be careful. This Deirdre woman, from what you described to him, from what I've learned from my friends at the VPD, she's not as evil as her father, but that doesn't mean you should be careless.
I'll stay on my twinkle toes. I'll see you later.
Good luck, and may God be with you, my son.
I thought the Force was supposed to be with me.
God damn it, different movie!
Okay, if you have more than 3 attachment points and more than 3 honesty points, but less or equal to 3 attachments, basically you're in the middle. Then they promise them freedom, but they themselves are slaves to corruption. So you haven't done good enough. You're not quite there yet. For whatever overcomes a person, to that he is enslaved. I mean, that's very straightforward. But what you're saying is pretty obvious. I'm not sure I get it. It's a bit of a warning for pitfalls those who trying to do the right thing sometimes fall into. They become slaves? Well, doing the right thing isn't easy, as you are well aware. And try to do the right thing. Even trying to know what the right thing is can prove too much. Oh, that's cute. And when someone offers a solution, they just accept it without thinking. Too often, this comes at a price. Before they know it, they become ensnared by the wicked, and with themselves are caught in the web of evil. It's inspired by you. It's a small difference, I know. But I'm pleased you can see your own story in the scripture. I love how Win is like, this is about me, isn't it? It seemed like an optimistic appraisal. It's not the end of the world. God specialized in the liberation of the enslaved in both body and spirit. Except for that one time when he was super into the Atlantic slave trade. Man, God had a weird time back then. I mean, I mostly blame the Republicans, but fuck it. I thought it was the Democrats at the time.
Oh, well, you know, politics change. I mean, you know, Lincoln was a Democrat, so don't even pretend. Besides, something like those parties stay the same anyway.
I mean, you've got a point. If the Republicans were behind, that side of the Civil War, they are currently in the part that still cling to it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Why are we talking about this again? I thought I was talking about scripture. Boy, you need to get a hobby.
Just food for thought. Do better do it yourself or those who trust than be in service of beasts and monsters. I like it. Like, it's like, don't compromise your morals for quick solutions. Don't just shoot him, please. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I see. This says you have more than 2 points in honesty and attachment, but you have less in attachment or honesty in a certain case. So one of them is falling short, but one of them can be really high. But one of them, okay. God, I pray God keeps his eye on you. If you have no honesty but decent attachment, repay no evil for evil. Have regard to the good things in the sight of all men. If possible, as much as depends on you, live peacefully with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourself, but rather give place to wrath. For it is not written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Bit of a long one. Will people have time to read that? Well, I think I've had that last time before. Quite a bit for boast and the others I was thinking of. But as you say, the last line is the one that only anyone really hears, and I think the context is necessary. Otherwise, it just sounds like a threat. Okay. Yeah, okay, I see what this says. It's like, hey, let God sort them out. Don't be that guy. Let God take care of it for you. I said don't just shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him. I took your gun. I'm taking it back. You can't just take the gun. I already did. God damn it. I should have bought a lock. Your apparent acceptance of new lifestyles. Well, won't they recover and go and get themselves hurt again? Get back. I'm afraid certain aspects have left behind. It's the honesty. I like that honesty takes this special spot. It's not like two different bars of goodness. It's like both of them are meant to reflect certain aspects of a character. Like, I really do feel that Snoot Game and Wani do not use their morality scores for anything, and they could have just been one ending and been fine. Like, they really didn't need the fucking endings, especially not Wani. I feel like they would have done better by just exploring the concepts a bit more. Like, this one explores Win as a character so deeply by having these options and what they mean. If you don't want to change, you have to start being honest, not cloudy with yourself. Okay, so it's just, okay, buddy, be honest. If you have no attachment, aka you fucked up, do not incline my heart to any evil thing, to practice the deeds of wickedness, with men who do iniquity, and do not let me eat of their delicacies. Interesting, what does it mean? Just a small prayer one might ask for God to help resist temptation. You've been keeping your distance from those of us in Saddlers, and you seem to be keeping Claudia at arm's length. That's certainly your prerogative, but I worry about you, Win. This situation, you could go a lot of ways. Some good and some not so good. I'm not sure which one you're heading towards. I'd like to think that you're not just going to go back to thieving once all this is over. Yeah. And I like that. Going out the city park from St. Sadler's was easily enough, despite not being overly familiar with the route, but as luck would have it, despite being on the other side of the city, more or less a straight shot from the church. So, the misty morning proved less of an obstacle, more of a mood setter. Seems I've gotten here a bit early. It doesn't make me feel any better. The fact that I have so little control over the situation is actually putting me a little on edge. The side of the city has more fog than Bayside does, and I can't see a thing. Go Bayside! I wonder if she'll be able to find me in the soup. I hate to have to assu- I hate to have her assume I skipped the meeting just because she couldn't find me. Hey you! Come on with the purple coat! Oh, is that her? No, the voice sounds different. Follow the direction to hear where the voice came from. Support sort, a shape emerges from the fog. It's fucking Tracy! Hello? Oh, hey there! Looking for breakfast you can take on the go. No, I'm actually supposed to meet someone here. Oh, that's so! That what the morning drug is? I have no idea. Sort of an appointment type thing? Sounds like you got some time to kill then. You want one of my packet of bacon, egg, and chili cheese dogs, wait. All the early birds are out, I love them. I didn't know you could put all that in a single hot dog. How the fuck do you put that on a single hot dog? Give me that fat hot dog! Might be worth a shot. Okay, I'll take one. Make that two. Fading in and out of the mist is like some red-scaled specter is Deirdre. Why the hell are you... Before I can even register a presence, she calls an arm around mine and pulls me in close. Of course, I don't have my wallet on me, so my friend here will be paying for mine. You don't mind, do you? After all, I did loan some cash not too long ago, right? I'm getting rather friendly right off the bat, I see. Sure, no problem. 2 breakfast hot dogs, please. Ah, two breakfast burgers coming right up. The hot dog woman suddenly becomes a blur of motion. Ingredients flip and fly this way and that, and the misty air is soon tinged with the scent of grilled meat. One won't stop thieving until he seals Skinwater Mutant Witch with the power of casting explosions. Deadly Shadows gets a bit weird around that part. It sure does. It sure does. And in a flash, the cheerful vendor presents me with 2 hot dogs. Give me that fat hot dog! Overflowing with no doubt unhealthy amounts of toppings. I pass along the order to my companion and pay for the meal, which is a playful smirk at the Allosaurus woman. Thanks. I skipped breakfast this morning. I'm simply famished. Why does she have a hot dog sprite? Burke McGinnis showed a commentator waves the hot dog when it pulls my arm away into the mist. Why is he holding a hot dog? Why can't I have a hot dog? I don't know how she's navigating this park with this poor visibility, but she seems to know where she's going, which isn't much of a comfort to me as I'd like. Eventually we come to a stop near a small fountain grotto within the park, where the saurian woman finally releases my arm. Isn't this a nice and secluded spot to have a pleasant talk? Why do you look like you're in your underwear? Best girl. Ugh, get fucking lost now. He's got a fucking hot dog! I can't really tell. I can't see much. You just have to trust me then, don't you? I suppose I will. Considering there could be some of your father's men in the midst who are trying to jump me. There certainly could be, couldn't there? But what is out of mind, as they say? Let us focus on what he came here for, no? I sit by the fountain so we can talk. God damn it, I don't want to kiss another woman. One is gross enough. Seeing my hesitation, she passes the spot next to me and smiles expectantly at me. She pleasantly conversational tone is catching me off guard somewhat, as does the apparent state of ease she seems to be in. Maybe she's so calm because there really are goons surrounding me just out of sight. Maybe she knows she has all the leverage in this scenario. Instead of worrying about it, I choose to instead gingerly take my seat next to her. Boop! Deirdre, meanwhile, pops an entire hot dog into her mouth and swallows it in one not-so-dainty bite. Goons. Hell yeah, man. Delicious. So, whatever shall we talk about? Didn't you want to talk about a fucking deal? You seemed to be in such a rush yesterday. Oh, that was yesterday? I was at the press for time. Today I have time to kill. Why does every woman I meet have giant bazonkas? Claudia, big bazonkas. We got Minnie, honka de gonkalagoos. And you, big zonkala spinkle onkaloos. What? Why not make some pleasant conversation? Besides, it all begins to know each other better. I suppose she's right about that. I might be able to get some good information out of it this way too. Jesus! What? Why is there dating music? To begin with, I'm delighted that we finally have a chance to talk with you. I had thought you might have died concerning how badly you looked as you hobbled out at the restaurant at night. She attempts and fails to stifle a small laugh. I must say, there wasn't a particularly well-thought-out escape, but I'm guessing the party wasn't expected. For what it is, I'm happy to see you. I am happy to see you alive, and not a cripple. If I didn't know better, I'd believe that humans really were made of rubber. But I think you and I both know that humans really are made of a bit too well. The escape was not my finest moment, and things were pretty easy up until then. I don't doubt that. Almost all of the buildings are truth on back when electricity was a novelty. Even when my father was put in charge of it, I have been trying to modernize the whole area, so it can turn a profit. But as you can guess, yes, other concerns than profits. My concerns, however, are far more negotiable. I prefer to keep humans in the city very much alive. Jesus! I never lost you. So you did let me escape? Yes, but it sounds like you figured that out a while ago. I had my driver Tony follow the taxi you sped away in. Wasn't particularly easily, mind you. After that, we just kept an eye on you from a distance. Make sure you didn't skip town while I was looking at other methods. I made sure no one else found out about you either. Jesus Christ, why is this artist aware enough to have her ass flow out over the fucking stone? But not have her... It does remind me of a certain dumb, pasty human trying his best to pretend he's Don Juan. You're not Olivia, lady. But you do got nice hair. You were smart enough to go spending the money like a madman. It'll make what I have planned go more smoothly. I'm honestly surprised you stuck around instead of hopping on a bus or something. But then I learned about a woman in the sun you put there. Twitter once again fails to suppress a small laugh. I can see you'd want to stay. But I found out that myself.
Damn it!
Guess all that ever keeping a low profile was a waste from the start. I guess Father Zand isn't gonna like hearing that. Yeah, he's gonna feel a little inequity. Jesus Christ, there's so much conversation here. It suits my plan better to have you right where you are. Why not come for me with the money? Why wait? There, care to guess? Well, assuming you weren't blamed for the failure in the first place, the quiet of the robbery seemed to hint that something was going on within your organization. I assumed you were using the theft as some power grab of some kind. Then I'd overheard you tell the other guy, Tony, that none of your father's lieutenants were happy with how things were. They all want to get rid of your father, but none of them can agree who to follow. So you needed something to unify them behind you, like recovering the money. Very good. You've got the right kind of mindset for this line of work. Lord Ump, the good kind. Stop pooping! You are quite correct. But I'm using your data for to shake up my father's leadership. And if I can recover my money, I'll rather rally my father's supporters by my side. However, it's taking longer than expected to win them over. They are all scared out of their minds by my father and for good reason. If you suspect any of them are attempting to challenge him, you tear them apart and eat them. Not something any of them are eager to risk on my behalf. So I have to take things slowly and carefully. Fortunately, my father has put me in charge of finding the money and bringing the guy who stole it. So I'm not racing against someone finding you before I do. Which means I can take my time. Time I'm using to prove to others that I am worth following. You still should keep it open for though. Don't want any of the others seeing you and getting any funny ideas. The others? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was out of deal with you that night. What do I need to know to avoid them? Just keep doing what you have been doing, really. Kenju de Leo Pleurodon is in charge of the archipelago. Man, he gets a nice part of town. I don't know what he do to get such a cushy position, but he is going to be the easiest to deal with. Mostly because he's never been on the mainland. It takes a summons from either me or my father to get him here. Until that happens, he's content to stay on Manuhai, back on the beach and raking all the tourist money. Then there is Monte the Carnotaurus, who runs downtown in city center. He's good at keeping a status quo and rubbing elbow with the city's upper crust. As long as you want any fancy parties held in penthouses with that space needle, then you probably won't bump into Inko, no! Stop making out! He focuses on making sure the right bombs stay greased and disseminating orders from me and Afonso to them. Of course, that also means he has it in his head that he should be in charge if my father is not available. So far, I have been able to convince him otherwise. But then there's Bruce. The tough-looking shark, I take it? Yes. He doesn't run a district or territory. My father enforces him, more or less. Didn't think Alfonso would need one of those. Not even my father can be bothered to threaten everyone himself. That's where Bruce comes in. If any dirty work my father wants done, he'll do it. He'll do anything. And I mean anything. No questions, no qualms, no hesitation. Fortunately, he usually sticks close to my father, so I'm able to keep an eye on him. Just would go out for any night swimming in around St. Hammond Beach. He occasionally does like to get his slippers wet. Sounds like a charming cast of people I want to avoid at all costs. I kinda want to do Director Denovian after the charity fair. Oh? I recall you saying you had to get back to running it. Yes, what about it? What would someone like you be doing running a charity fair? Because charities can be very profitable. Really? Oh, yes. The amount of money some corporations and businesses are willing to pay just to sponsor a charity is very much worth the effort. The charity fair, the Hunters Festival, the Winter Soldier Celebration, the Christmas market. Anything that takes us around to Little Truton or this park, I make sure I get a cut. Oh, the charity work I done that everyone has done. It's just lining your pockets? No, it hasn't. You and your church have been helping plenty of people, even if you've been doing so at events that I've set up. Most of my cuts come from providing the venue and charging the business system to use the space. Bruce, my trusted enforcer, can you cut up my steak for me? My hand is too dummy big for my fork. I make sure that it reaches the intended recipients. I prefer to make sure that's unexpectedly generous of you. Oh, she could park, nobody be wiser. Man, she's just nice. I guess it's mostly because she knows that the charity work can benefit her more than getting called out. Also, it leaves a paper trail that she'd probably rather avoid, because charity tends to get investigated a bit more scrupulously than company papers. Because, you know, people give it for a reason. Generosity can be a very useful tool. Ironically, getting greedy would only hurt my profits. If more people would have money and stable living conditions, the more likely they are to get back and spend money the businesses are. Oh, you're way too fucking... You're not a capitalist. Get out of here. It's just cultivating the customer base. Not to mention all the free positive PR. Sounds almost legitimate. Legitimate business practices are the most profitable. Quite frankly, there are enough legal loopholes that we don't even need to break the law to continue as honest we have been. Sounds like she's more a businesswoman than a gangster. I wonder if that's what her ultimate vision for the gang is. To go from crime syndicate to corporation. Then again, in this day and age, what's the difference? Sean, she's pretty offended when I suggested that she just pocketed the money. But regardless of that, I still have another question. If you set up the charity fair, and, those in attendance, do you plan on Donovian, Malcolm and I to... Did you plan on Donovian, Malcolm and I to collide like that yesterday? Believe it or not, no. St. Hamlet General Hospital always has a spot reserved for them at larger events. It's just standard practice, but they have no influence over who they send. Donovian usually doesn't resent these sort of things, which you might have guessed by his temperament. I did not expect a school trip from the school of Mrs. Grant's son to be there. If I had to guess, this was an independent scheme from the director. Once I learned he was there, I went to ask him why, and lo and behold, there you were. I must say, the way you pulled yourself between the boy and Donovian was quite touching. If you step on a still, she's like, ah, that's fucking funny, and a smile on my face. But long story short, no, I may be good, but I'm not that good. I appreciate that we're leaving some things up to, to other people making opportunistic moves. He is a simpering, spineless worm. He has done nothing but simp and ask for my OnlyFans. At which he's also a rather useful asset for my father. A fact that gives him an unwarranted sense of invincibility. What does the Novian do for your dad? He cleans any bodies that make it to the hospital of any evidence that could lead back to us. Falsifies report, loses physical evidence, and shuffles bodies around to keep them away from the police. If there's anybody left. That is. These days my father does not leave much to clean up after all. In exchange, Novian gets paid for these services, and the insurance that he keeps his cozy little position of his. There's a fair amount of dirty work for my father, and that earns him protection. As well as an opportunity to rub elbows with the high-class individuals sitting comfortably in my father's pocket. Then he goes on and acts like he can do us whatever he wants. He thinks that lets him make certain demands of my father's organization. Like others, he doesn't ask my father directly because he's all terrified of him. No, he comes to me and starts getting uppity. For instance, at the fair yesterday, he demanded I find, humiliate, and kill you. To say nothing that he demanded I do something about Mrs. Grant and her son. His infantile temper tantrums about him have grown beyond tiresome. Fortunately, it doesn't take much to make him shut up and mind his own business. I just have to give him a nice reminder that he works for us and not the other way around. And threatening to have him eaten for pestering us with his personal problems never gets old. What about Alfonsi? I'm surprised he hasn't torn the city apart for the fucking money. He doesn't care less about them. He couldn't care less about the money. Really? My father is a monster. Even before he developed his particular taste. Every year that goes by, he becomes more brutal and more deranged. Like he's regressing in some sort of primeval state. Either he has, like, the genetics that make him big and scary also make him go fucking crazy, or eating humans has given him a prion disease. Yeah, they're becoming the Yakuza! It's not about the money, it's about the message. He terrifies all of us. That little display you were privy to that night was just a peek into the madness that had been growing for God knows how long. Being a cannibal that wants to exterminate humans was just a peek? Yes, I'm sorry you had to see that. But I hope it shows you what kind of terror we are all living under. The extermination of the human populace is the cleaner way of putting it. He wants to hunt them to extinction, and all our carnivorous saurians to take part. He thinks it is the natural order of things. Why don't the police get involved? Surely they want him gone too. I'm sure the chief of police would... Excuse me, this is a very dramatic soundtrack. I'm sure the chief of police would love to get rid of a monster like him. Before his madness, my father was exceptionally good at putting reliable stooges in places of power throughout the city. It's why the massacre of Skid Row gangs is allowed to happen. All it took to muzzle the cops was one call from the mayor's office and my father was allowed to run rampant. He's going to kill a lot of innocent people if they allow to continue. Until he finally runs into a wall of guns he can't brute force his way. Yeah, the fucking army's gonna gun him down at some point. Like, this can only go so far before someone high up says, we can't let this happen. Though anything so that the National Guard would not have enough firepower. I mean, if he hides, yes. If he's up front, no. For now, though, he seems content to lurk in his tower early emerge when there's someone or something to kill. Yeah, he's basically just a cannibal who's having fun. I think the problem is that you need a really big gun, and you need to have a few of them. And the problem is you can't just get a military group together like that. Lady, please turn the fucking volume down. Although he does slip out sometimes and prowl the city sanitation tunnels looking for prey. He can fit into the sewers? Only the latter ones near the city center. If you ever hear a work you go homeless going missing, well, don't expect of any bodies to be found. I'll keep that in mind! I was thinking about hiding in the sewers when I first got it too. Just the thought of bumping into Alfonsi is terrifying enough. I don't want to imagine doing so in a dark tunnel. So as you might expect, I'd rather he dies sooner rather than later. He is the killer croc. But it'll take more than I can do on my own. which is why I would like you to help me. As pleasant as the conversation and company might be, I think it's time to get on with it. Unless there's something else I would like to... I think I could just... Ugh. Unless there's something I think I could still get idle banter like this. I might have missed something, but we're not. I think I've heard enough. Let's talk about this deal of yours. I would be delighted to. For the time being, I want you to hold on to the money. Feel free to spend a little bit, but don't go crazy. I will need it later if my plan is going to work. And if you prove to be a good team player, I can promise you a premier spot in my new organization. You'll be a made man for helping me bring down my father and for returning the stolen money. As for the Novian, I'll make sure that when Afonso goes down, I'll air out some of the director's dirty laundry. His little father and I will end up ruined behind bars. In either way, he will not bother Claudia and Malcolm ever again. Until then, I'll keep him on a leash for you and make sure you and your little community stay hidden. Although I will warn you that I can't control everything the Novian does, so you have to be on guard. He has a garage, and is wealthy enough to make his own problems without help from my father's organization. That does sound like a very good offer. Wonder what the catch is. Do we even have an alternative? Well, what if I go to the police with all this information you've given me? What do you think? What are you going to do when the police ask for who you are? Assuming, of course, I let that happen. I'll remind you, I could just take what I want at any time. But I'd rather settle things with a nice compromise where everyone can win. Besides, I'd rather not kill you. Win. Without warning, I feel cold, clawed hands ruffle my hair. I think you're rather crude. I don't need a third woman! Be gone! Edward laughs and rises to her feet. I mean it. You're not that bad looking, and I understand you're surprised by the notion, considering who my father is and all. Now, I will give you some time to think over my offer. There's still a bit of time before I need a definite yes or no from you. But I will come for an answer, there is no mistake about that. And when a word of warning, I will need that money back. And one way or another, I will get it. I'll be in touch. Chabello! It's Tabello! The elegant Allosaur woman flutters a hand in farewell and disappears into the mist, leaving me, presumably, alone with my thoughts. I made a most ideal situation, but Deirdre's offer is rather enticing. Okay, we're gonna leave it here. We're leaving it here. I need to go. I need to go. This is also another point where your affinities matter a lot, and I fucking love it! I keep saying that Snoot game isn't good, and it's getting upshown by its fucking mods all the damn time. Anyway, thank you all for coming. This was great. I love this mod, man. It is so fucking good. It has pacing, it's got some nice story beats, it's a little fancy, which I always love. Ugh. It makes my little baby heart bleed. I can't promise I'll be streaming regularly or anytime soon, but, please, keep it in mind. And give me a good tombstone. You know what, buddy? I'll get you a tombstone. I just can't promise there will be a body underneath. Holy shit, how the hell is it Friday already? As long as you're not melting, there's a chance. I will finish this. I want to finish this really badly, because it's so good, man. This shit is fantastic. I love it. Is it a little cheesy? Who cares? It's great! I'm not answering that question. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Even if I'm a little sad about who's getting chosen. Would I convert for Mini? Maybe. I need a guarantee first. None of you heard that. None of you heard that.